Okay, so these are shelf holders, not bookshelf books if you want to put books on the shelf or whatever, okay? They're mahogany. These two pieces are sent to me from my buddy Martin in Ireland. He sent me a picture of them, asked me if he shipped them to me, would I carve them for him? I said, yes, send them to me, I'll carve them for you. These are very old mahogany. They're the same size from here to here. Obviously, it will go like this against the wall, and then a shelf will sit on top of it, okay? This has been joined. This is joinery right here. How can you tell if it's been joined? Well, you can see a line straight across of it, right? You can see that line there, but you can see the grain here that all of a sudden changes, right? Dramatically, so it's great joinery, and we'll hide that anyways. So what I want to do, you can see it better on this one right here. Okay, so what I want to do is I've held this up this way. Okay, so I don't know if I already said it, but these are just over a foot this way, exact same this way, and 1 3/4 thickness. Okay, it's mahogany. We don't know what type of mahogany it is, but it comes out of a real big mansion, 100-year-old mansion, he said, in Ireland. And so it's really old mahogany. Could even be burl mahogany. I don't have much experience with it. But you can see this is the face grain. Beautiful grain stuff. Okay, so this would be the face grain. And so what I'll be carving here is edge grain, because I got these two lines. You know, I looked at it. Which is it better to carve a wood spirit this way, with it facing this way, or this way? But that way you can't see, you won't be able to see the wood spirit, right? So we got to have it that way, because there's a nice, anyways, it gets confusing. Confused the hell out of me, but this is the way it's chosen. So I got both lines here. That will be the forehead right there. There'll be a wood spirit here. And this is tricky because you got this big dip here, right? So you put your nose here, and then, you know, like, it's going to be tricky. And for something this is only a 1/4 inch thick, 1 1/4 inch mahogany. Sorry guys, I get confused trying to explain this stuff. You're going to have your nose here, but then you're not going to have a very wide face. But it's okay, I've done faces like this before. And the eyes will come off the side. He said he wants the hollow eyes, and I would agree with him. So you'll see the eyes come off the side. His mustache and beard will be blowing off here, and we'll get the hair to come up and wrap around here so it hides this this joinery, right? And this will just be an oiled piece, okay? So I guess I should just quit carving, and yeah, I'll drink some coffee first and start carving. Oh, and I'm not going to be using my Kutzall burs on this, because this is super hard wood, right? I might pull out something like this, but I think basically I'm going to be using aluminum cutting burs. For anybody Australia or in the UK that has a hard time getting the Kutzall burs, these burs work good when you're carving hard woods, especially in Australia, because I know most of the wood there is the hard wood, right? So you get these aluminum cutting burs in Amazon, and yeah, just use these ones. They're not as fast cutters as the Kutzalls, but they cut. They're more like planers, right? See the flutes? They're straight flutes. These are the aluminum cutters, not the, they're $20. So like adult, you get 10 burrs, or yeah, 10 burrs, so $2 a burr, right? Okay, so this one might be a bit tricky to film, like when I'm carving live, because, well, it's an awkward piece, right? It's not a flat backed one. So this is where I want the forehead to be, right? So I just realized that the forehead has to be here to get the hair to come up here. So let's start off with our center line. Now I just don't know how this is going to turn out, because you got these big dips in here, right? Like that. So forehead, let's put our eyes here. I suggest giving them a small forehead over a larger forehead. That's not that center. Guys, when you put your nose on, I gotta make this one a bit smaller. When you put your nose on, I suggest you make this side And this side the same. This one's smaller than this. And the same pitch for the very beginners. Okay, so then this guy's mustache is going to come like this and wrap down here like the wind's blowing it, right? So this way and this way, okay? I don't think I'm going to be able to film carving this, but I'll stop at key points, okay? So that's that. So I'm going to draw this one on too. So the kind of the same pitch, right? So you got your eyebrows here. Right? So your nose. This is all wonky, but I'll fix it. So they're the same kind of thing, right? You know what I'm saying? And this, when I carve this out, you're going to see how you have barely any room to do your eyes. So the eyes are going to be going down the side. It's okay. It'll work out. Believe in yourself. That's all. So I'm going to start carving one of these. Okay, so what I'm going to start off with, this is Kutzall. I did a couple little carves in here with this Kutzall round cutter. Okay, this doesn't seem like it's that hard. So anyways, I'm going to get this done and I'll film a bit. Okay, so when you're carving something like this, it's good to keep looking back and forth from side to side. Try and keep them equal. They don't have to be perfect. This face isn't going to be exactly like this face. You kind of want them to be different, but they're at the same height, so that's okay, right? So now all the blocking's done. Martin's already explained to me he wants the more hollow eyes, and I don't blame him. I think wood spirits look just as good with hollow eyes than real eyes. Because if you don't make really good real eyes, then it looks kind of funny. So now, what do I want to do with his beard? We already got his mustache in place. What do I want to do with his beard and his hair? His hair, I want it to come up here. Whoosh, right? Like whip up here. Whoosh, whoosh, come around, come around. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make it like this. And same with this side. And his beard, I'll kind of just have it wrap it around. I don't know. It's best to, I'll get a pencil and I'll draw my lines on for how I want the hair to work out, kind of. Because it just gives you a reminder how you want your lines to go. So anyways, that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to do this hair and beard in 2 processes. Processes? Is that a word? Anyways, I'm going to cut deep in with maybe a Kutzall Extreme. This mahogany is not too hard for me. With an extreme, and then I'll do it with my aluminum cutting burr, like this, like I normally do. So that's what's going to take the most part of this carving, is that, and then we'll get to the details on the face and all that stuff. Oh yeah, we still got to carve that other one too. Okay, so everything seems to be going on schedule, as planned. See how I kind of wrap the eyes around? I'll do the eyes later and some more details later. Now I gotta see how I carve the hair in there. That's the first step. Now I got this aluminum cutter, and I will give all these details to the hair and the beard hairs. Okay, so this is aluminum cutter, and let's get on with it. Okay, so this is what we got. I got all the hair cut in. I got the eyes cut in. I haven't done any sanding yet. Still lots of sanding to do and touch-ups. Like I can see here, there's a, like right here, that's a stop-start, that little hole there. So I got to go around touching that stuff up, sand the face down. Give it a quick sand around here. I think it's better if Martin himself sands this because he can spend more time on it to get a real, like take it down to even like, I don't know, 500 grit. But there's the first one done. I like it. I think it's cool. So, this mahogany is fairly hardwood. I'd say it'd be hardwood for anybody else that, well, for somebody that doesn't have much experience carving. Because I've carved the densest wood in the world. I've carved the hardest wood in the world. So this would be like medium for me. But anyways, it's fun. Okay, so I got to go to the store and take a break. Goodbye. Okay, I'll get it done. But first I got to eat my Subway. Jeez. Okay, so all is going well. Now I gotta need to friggin' cut in all the beard hairs and the hair hairs, then detail the face. So I'll be back when that's done, and yep. Okay, we'll see you in a bit. Okay, so everything's on point. I like these guys. This is the first one I did. This is the second one I did. See, this guy's kind of got the carving fusion, like a sagging lip. This kind of guy looks like he's squinting and going, "What's that? What's that?" This guy's just kind of like, "Huh, what?" Anyways, you can see how the hair comes up. And then if you look, it wraps around. This guy's hair goes like this, but this guy here, his hair is a bit different. So what I got to do now is sand. Yep. I'm not going to sand. I'm not even going to bother sanding here. Or here. Because I don't have my palm sander here. And I talked to Martin in Belfast. Not Belfast, sorry. In Ireland. I talked to him in Ireland and just on Facebook Messenger. And he said that he'll do all the sanding and stuff like that. So, but I'm going to sand like all here. And the face and stuff like that. And I'm going to use, once again, my peterblair mandrel with emery cloth sandpaper. All right, this is 140 grit. And I'm going to lightly go with the hair. Let's see here. Just like that. It'll curve the nose and the face and stuff like that. So I'll get this done. Here, let's just show you. Oh, right here. Okay, see that? There. So, but I don't want to do this with that because for this, you should have a flat, like an orbit sander or a palm sander. So you can get it nice flat. I think Martin said he might even sand it to like 1,000 grit or something. I think because he's going to use teak oil or linseed oil. I'd suggest teak oil on this for sure. And the smoother that you sand when you're going to oil, like with say the 1,000 grit or 2,000 grit, the nicer it's going to look and the more you're going to see this grain, right? So anyways, I'll get this sanded and then I'll be back. Roar! Okay, Martin, here you go then. That's as good as I'm going to sand them. And there you guys go. There's a couple bookshelves. I signed them. Let's see here. I signed them on opposite sides, so there's a J there and a J there. On this side. There's a couple Spirit Brothers. See this one? The stuff kind of... I made them different, right? The hair comes down. This one, the hair goes up. So we got this water here. Let's give them a spray. Come on, you son of a... So there. Got some quilting in there too, Martin. So if you sand these to a real fine grit, you're a perfectionist. I know you are. I've seen your work. You sand these to a real fine grit, you're going to get some quilting right there. See it? Yeah, I'd take my time. And see, I didn't sand too good up there because you got your orbit sander and you'll be able to sand that out mint all nice and smooth, right? I did do a good number on my finger where I held the bit today. And that's it. So anybody that wants to try it, go for it. It's fun. You could use pine or whatever you want. I've always wanted to make one just like a plant pot holder that sits in a corner of a house. But I'll need like a 6x6 or something like that, or a 4x4 to do one of those. Because it will be like on the bottom will be like a triangle. And you have a flat surface on the top that fits in a corner. Anyways, that's it, guys. This mahogany, really old stuff. Some of you might think it's super hard wood to carve. For me, it was medium to carve because, well, I've carved, I don't know if I've already said it, but I've already carved the hardest wood in the world and stuff, like the most dense wood in the world, so it wasn't too bad for me. So, made for a fun project. Anyways, guys, hope you're all good, and let's just leave it there.